AnsleyD here, back at you with another live in the drive. It's not 5, but we live in the drive with AnsleyD. If you know what I mean. So today we're going to talk about a few things, trending topics, current events, 2025 so far, what's going on with the year 2025, 2025 crisis or opportunity. So what's your outlook? What's your outtake for the year 2025 coming up? Well, we already in it, so what's your outtake? So I'm gonna let the algorithm kick in. I ain't put no title in it, so it's probably gonna take a minute to kick in. But we're gonna be talking about current events, um, housing crisis, inflation, prices going up. We're gonna talk about a lot of housing markets shutting down their new building. So a lot of um, new houses getting built, they stopped those. So they're cutting back on a lot of houses getting built. We're gonna talk about that. We're going to tie that in with some of the crisis that's going on in California with the fire. So that's part of the housing crisis as well. What else we going to talk about? We're going to talk about what's going on in the world, some current events, talk about the California fire. Huh? Oh, we're going to talk about gas prices going back up. Gas prices going back up, inflation, and a big thing about the housing crisis because I've been doing some research in terms of the housing and what's going on with the housing for 2025. And a lot of people, even people who were purchasing houses, they end up not even closing. I heard some people had like, you put an offer in and you're ready to close. This lady that I was watching, she's a realtor. She said that a lot of people end up not closing over these last few months. Alyssa, how you doing, Alyssa? Shout outs to you. Thank you. My name is Mia. Okay, I'm gonna call you Mia. Shout out to Mia. Thanks for tuning in. Where you tuning in from me? Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody who's on this live with me. Thank y'all for being on here. We're going to be talking about like the housing crisis, gas price going up, and we're starting off the conversation with the housing crisis. My name is Maya. Shout out to Maya. Maya, where you tuning in from? Where you tuning in the live stream from? Um, Shout out to everybody on. That's my daughter, Maya, Mila. Hi, kind of similar. Um, so the housing crisis, like I was saying, some people, this lady I was watching on YouTube, a realtor, she was talking about she had, a good amount of people under contract for the end of 2024 going into 2025. And when 2025 hit, she's not exactly sure what's going on. But for example, some of the new homes, they cut back on the timeline on having those new houses built and stuff like that. So people was backing out from new homes. Some people put an offer and was up to close on their houses, and she said for some reason some of those end up backing out of the closing. Maybe they didn't have enough money. And another thing she said she was facing was a lot of foreclosures. A lot of foreclosures was going up in the market, she said as well. So it's kind of interesting, like how the housing market is going. You have people not able to purchase houses, and at the same time, you have um, the renting industry, the renting market to rent a house. Those prices are actually going up. So the market value, ooh, look at that dead raccoon, got all puffy. So the market value of renting a home has gone up, and the the purchasing value to purchase a home has also gone up. So people are hit, and I came across people who were saying that they're living in storage unit, people living out of storage unit. Um, had people like Some people was living out of their vehicles, and at first I thought, okay, maybe it's just a few people that's this happening to. Arvin, I hope I'm saying your name right. Arvin, hello. Arvin from, I think I'm saying that right, from India. Shout outs to you, everybody over there in India. I want to make a trip to India. India is popping right now, right? India is one of the places you need to go right now too. India's on the upcome. Well, they've been on a come up, but it's like the music scene, the entertainment scene is popping over there in India right now. I want to go to India. I wonder what the housing market is like in India too, compared to the United States. But over here in the United States right now, like you had a time where a lot of new builds was going up, new houses was getting built, those got reduced. People even in the industry, contractors, people that's working in that industry with building up new houses, layoffs has been going on in that industry. I forgot what state this was in, but the gentleman was talking about how the housing authority, I guess the housing authority people had brought up a nice area of land and they was building up new houses in that area, but some kind of hiccup or something happened where they had a setback, and the setback led to a lot of people in the month of January getting laid off. So you thought you was in a good industry. A lot of houses are starting to go up. You have a lot of companies was building up houses, but then all of a sudden it's a pause to that. And even the people who were working in that industry, they're kind of hit now because they're getting laid off. They probably have rent, mortgage to cover, so now they kind of hit. So the housing market is really getting hit. Got a lot of foreclosures going up. We have the new builds is cutting back. They're cutting back on the new builds, so not as much new builds as before. Foreclosures going up, prices of houses going up. Not to mention that the interest rate because of inflation, that's also on the rise. So you got a hard time for people to find housing, whether you're renting, whether you're purchasing. Um, Even just to find a small unit, a studio apartment. In the area that I'm at, studio apartments used to be ranging from like 7 to 800. Now, studio apartments is 1,200, and I'm talking about that studio apartment. So that's no bedroom, no extra bedroom. You have your kitchen, your living area, and like a bathroom, going for about 1,200, 1,300. So that right there is even taking a hit. So if a person is looking for housing, looking for purchasing a house, renting an apartment or something like that, it's kind of a drawback right now. There's no new builds. The new builds are cutting back. Like I just went past the area not too long, and this was in the suburbs, and you can see that they was building up, like they was building it up, but now you can see that the work has stopped. And I can understand, okay, it's winter, so they probably put a pause on it, but you can see like how much material is still out there, and just how the way the house looked, it looked like they just cut back from building up on it. So you got the new houses builders cutting back, rents going up, even though people have, now leasing and newly renovated. A lot of areas newly renovated because they end up getting money from the government, probably a low income tax credit, you know, benefits. So a lot of companies, I say people, a lot of companies taking advantage of that. And what they do, they take advantage of it and then they move up the market rate. So the market rate, say for example, it was $1,000 in that area, and they end up getting involved with a low income tax credit. The They end up having to move the low income tax credit apartments end up having to move towards market rate. So if that area was $1,000, they end up low income was like 1,000, 1,200. Now that area is about 1,500, 1,600, 1,700, and even though the rent is going up, mortgage going up, interest is going up, but the cost of living wages is not going up. The regular cost of living wages is not going up. In addition to you have layoffs and stuff. So the housing market crisis, what's your thoughts? What's your opinions on that? Sharks. um, what's going on, Debbie? How you doing? Where you tuning in from, Debbie? Shout outs to Debbie. Shout outs to Arvin and everybody that's on here. Thank you for being on here. Appreciate your time, your support. Your time, one of the most valuable assets. You can't get that back. So appreciate you being on here. We're talking about the housing market crisis. We're talking about the crisis that's going on. We're talking about gas prices going up and what's the outlook for 2025. A lot of people is in the uproar in terms of the the inauguration of a new president. We have the changing of the guard. So a new president will be coming in. Well, he is in now, and the other president just went out. So you got a lot of people in an uproar, not exactly sure how things are going to go. The new president has executive orders like crazy. The amount of executive order that's coming out is beyond. I can't even say. That's the first time we've seen a president come on board and execute so much executive order. Some of them can't even really get executed, but he's still gonna do it. Like wait for Congress, wait for Supreme Court, whatever, but gonna go ahead and execute these things. So that's another thing that we gotta talk about. The new presidency, how people gonna act to the new president that's in the White House, how he's gonna take control or what he's gonna do in terms of the housing market crisis, not even to mention the debt ceiling crisis. What about the government budget? It's a lot of things that we got to talk about for 2025, and we just can't get sidetracked. And we can't get sidetracked of what we need to really take care of. A lot of these things, um, it takes us off our swivel, off our square, and don't keep us focused because, yeah, you got a new person taking over and they're changing up stuff. So we just got to be able to understand what's going on, understand the policies, learn about the housing market crisis, learn about the inflation, learn about what's going on, what kind of steps they're taking to correct some of these stuff, and just don't be too much in the emotions. Just don't be too much in the emotions and feelings. Just stay focused on what we got to do and take care of what we got to do. I like to line up bankers and tell them all off. And the bankers is making money too. Bankers are making money off the housing crisis. Um, because you have the foreclosure. What you go into foreclosure within 2-3 months while you're in foreclosure. If you can't get out of it, the bank's gonna take over the property, take over the house, and what they're gonna do, they're gonna put it on the auction block, or even put it on their own what you call it, even put it on their own ledger. So they're either going to put it back on the auction block, put it on the ledger, or put it back on the market. And the people who were paying their mortgages or whatever for how many years that they were taking care of it, now they're losing out. They're losing out on money that they already put into their mortgage and purchasing their house. And now they're going to be losing out even more because now they're foreclosure, so they have to find a place to go. And when the bank takes back the property, now the banks put it either back on their ledger, they can sell it, or they put it up for auction. Majority of the time, they're selling it for market rate and not even what's owned on the property. So it's a lot of things that we're gonna have to discuss in the housing market crisis, living situations, um, insurance, even like yeah, shout out to Debbie, insurance companies, all of them, they suck too. So we got to start really getting involved and learning about contracts because I see a lot of things. I see a lot of things is dealing with contract and contract law and how contracts is situated and the fine prints. Because sometimes these insurance companies they say yeah you can get insurance. You have your insurance when they get you in, then they want to change up the policy and all type of things. For example, the people in California, they had insurance about a couple months before the fire broke out. A lot of them end up losing their insurance. They cut back on fire insurance. Fire coverage was not involved in the insurance anymore. What a crisis, right? So you lose your home, un- unfortunate reason, and then you don't even have the money from your insurance to take care of it. Craziness, right? So let me know what's your thoughts on the housing market crisis and what we're going through right now with all this stuff. Ice cream prices are insane. Yo, groceries, ice cream prices, everything. I went and got you all right? Hold on for me. All right, so I'm making a quick stop while we chopping it up and talking about it. Ice cream prices are insane. I bought some eggs the other day and I almost paid $7 for a dozen of eggs. Almost $7 for a dozen of eggs. Hold on for me real quick. This really sounds crazy, but wow, that's probably possible, right? Yeah. Hmm. You feel like you gotta throw up? You want something to drink? That's a tough one right there. Bought a house, had the floors done over, put a new dishwasher in, and that happened. That's y'all can hear me? Can y'all hear me? Y'all hear me? My boy. You good? All right. So we got gas prices going up, cost of eggs, cost of ice cream, cost of dairy product, cost of chicken going up. Y'all heard about that? What's that? The bird flu or something like that? So that's a reason why, huh? You heard about the bird flu? Yeah. That's a reason, another reason why they said the cost of eggs is going up. When you go out and you usually get a chance for a certain price and that chicken sandwich ain't the same no more. That's because what's going on with the bird flu and the supply of chicken and all that. They they saying they gotta euthanize chicken and get rid of it and all type of stuff because of the bird flu. What else going on, ladies and gentlemen? What else is going on? You tired back there? Or I'm boring you? You bored? Why? Oh gosh, you don't like talking about the housing crisis? What you want to talk about? Squid Games? What you want to talk about? Dinner? You don't want to talk about nothing? Huh? Oh, what? You have parents? What? Oh, she want to talk about parent. Oh, okay. She want to talk about parents that's getting sent away or back to other countries, best deportation. Some she's saying. My daughter's saying she want to talk about some parents, how it's sad that they got to get sent back and their kids won't have them, and vice versa, splitting up of the family because of what's going on with the ICE, and the new deportations and what they're doing with the executive orders, executive orders for deporting a lot of undocumented migrants who are in this country. So she heard a whiff of it, like in some news and stuff like that. So she's saying that's kind of sad how parents are getting separated from their parents, and how it's sad that the parents is getting sent back and the kids are still here. Like it's a wide variety of things, and so we got to even look deep into that. So, and I hope it's not like they're going after everybody. I hope it's just like the criminals, people that's got into the country that's undocumented, that's causing, like in New York, people were stealing mopeds and um, robbing people and taking people property, and a variety of things like that. So hopefully they're just targeting like the criminals and not just the innocent people who's here to work and be abiding lawful people and go by the laws and here to work and not just create havoc. That's the ones that he should target, is the ones that's creating havoc, and not the ones who's here trying to make a decent living and an honest living for themselves. But that's a sad situation when you have families getting broken up and separated because of those type of situation with the mass deportation that's going on. Um, so, what's your thoughts on that? With the crisis of that, the deportation crisis? So that's another current event topic for 2025 that can be discussed. I know in my state they've been shutting down. They've been really been swarming different spots, like small mom and pop stores where they know like these people probably working at, and I don't know, but what, you on my live? It was 9 earlier, but then I dropped off because I had to go grab that thing up, so they probably jumped off. But we're back. We're back live. We're talking about 2025, and huh? Yeah, well, we're still gonna talk. We're talking about 2025. Is it an opportunity or is it crisis? Crisis or opportunity? We went down, talk about some of things about the housing market, talk a little bit about insurance and the banking institute, and we also talk a little bit about the fire crisis that's going on in California. Yeah, right. My son back there serious right now. Got a serious look on his face. You want some more? No. Huh? What? Pass it up. I'm gonna tell you, your iPad dead too. Oh, Uh-oh. That means it's about to die, right? So I'm not gonna be on here too much longer. I'm just chopping it up with y'all. My daughter right here, the little comedian. Where's she at? She's hiding. This one right here. This one. Comedian. But yeah. What else we was talking about, Mila? Oh, the deportation? That was what? We're done with that. You got another topic we should talk about? Yeah. Talking about eggs and cheese going up. What you mean? Do we eat eggs and cheese? Of course. You had eggs this morning for breakfast, right? Then you had cheese on yours. So eggs, we almost paid what? Almost $7 for a dozen eggs. That's crazy. A dozen. Eggs used to be like $3 for a dozen, $4 at the most. I remember we could be finding eggs for like $1.99. Now that is not the case. One way driving, that's another thing too. Wrong way driving been crazy in my state. People gotta pay attention where they driving because they enter the wrong way and be driving at night and cause collisions. Unfortunately, bad things happen with that situation. CJ, what up, CJ? What's CJ? I'm tired of this. I'm about to be the next Batman. Bat Naga. Yo, CJ, you funny. Shout out to CJ. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you being on here. Every time you come on here, you make me laugh some more or crack a smile or just being interactive with you. Appreciate that. Uh, I remember the first time you was coming on here, you was about to beat me up, but it's all cool. We cool now, right, CJ? We good. My peoples now. We gonna do some big things. We're gonna have exhibition fights and stuff. He about to be Batman. I don't know if I'm gonna be Robin. But big shout out to CJ, man. Thank you. Thanks for your interaction and stuff. But I was just on here just talking about the 2025 and what's going on. The housing market crisis, the fires, prices of stuff going up, inflation, grocery prices going up, gas price going up. Just was talking about some eggs, talk about the LA fire, talk about the deportation, how kids is getting taken away from their parents and the parents getting deported back. I'm not really full on that whole situation, but we gotta look into it more because it is sad. And I know where I'm at. I'm in Connecticut, so I know the ICE has been around because certain areas we got certain culture, and they've been targeting those areas with those certain culture, and they've been grabbing up people and sending them back. So that's kind of a sad situation and thing. But just on here chopping it up on a Sunday, January almost done. So we almost 1 month through with the 2025. Running around, running some errands, about to go eat some food and take it easy for the rest of the day. Um, just the housing crisis, man, just keeps getting worse and worse. That was one of the main reasons why I came on here to chop it up with people, talk about the housing market, the renting market, and different crises that's going on. And are these things crisis or can we have them as opportunity? Can we take an opportunity out of them, Like I know some companies gonna be making money off of the unfortunate stuff that's happened in California with the LA fires and people losing their houses. Now it's a lot of land and a lot of vacant land and property that's gonna be up for sale. Because if because it's gonna be like this. So the insurance company, if people have insurance or whatever, the insurance company is gonna try to take care of them the best they can without losing any money. And I'm gonna say that they're gonna try to take care of them the best they can without losing out any money. And at the same time, you probably have the federal government, state government probably step in and they're going to acquire most likely they're going to acquire the land from these people, from these private people. So you're going to have like companies and the government gonna come in, and it's probably gonna be more like intimate domain. They're gonna be basically forcing people to sell, probably gonna be forcing people to sell their land and stuff like that. And if not, they're gonna be intimate domain. They're gonna basically take it over and do whatever they want to do with it. But that's just my thought. Let me know what y'all think about it. And I thank everybody for being on here. Appreciate your time. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Gonna be putting out some more videos, some more live videos as well, interacting with you and taking care of what we gotta do. So once again, it's AnsleyD. Make sure y'all be safe out there, continue to be great. Check your mental health, work on your mental health. Don't let the negativity, negative emotions take over you, because it's a lot of negative things that's going on. So you don't want the negativity to take over you. Be able to control your emotions. Make sure you have a healthy mindset. Um, Mental health and wellness is important. So do whatever you need to do to have the right focus, to keep your mindset right, to do the best you can each and every day as you go out into the world and do what you got to do. And be productive citizens of the world. No negativity, straight positivity, right mindset, and keep it going. All right. Talk to y'all later. Make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. Talk to y'all later. Peace out. Peace.